Hey everybody, this is Nick again, and today I have a really cool couple implementations that I put. The first one is sort of an upgrade to the already existing movement system. So before we could walk, right? Walk like this, jump, obviously, then crouch, move around, crouched, and then just get back up, jump, stuff like this. Uh, I like it. It's quite basic. I really like games that have way more dynamic movement systems. So you can slide, you can like stop sliding, stuff like that. So it's like I wanted to really upgrade this. Also, you can drop shot and things like those. So what I implemented was sliding with slide canceling. So you can slide and jump while sliding, right? Like this. And then you can also slide cancel. So while you're sliding, if you tap slide again, you will slide cancel. For all this, I also implemented the enhanced input method, which was super helpful for implementing these things, and also tidied up the code quite a lot. So there is slide canceling, which is all cool. You can jump while sliding, and it will get into the jumping state, and it's really cool because you also gain a lot of momentum while you're sliding because I increased the movement speed a lot while you're sliding. Then you can just jump. I know the capsule doesn't reduce the size yet. I still have to fix that, but that's an easy fix. So you can slide sideways, stop sliding, jump while sliding, and you will jump like really far. And the crouch button is the same. It's just that if you're stationary, so you're not moving, you don't have any velocity, instead of sliding, you will just crouch. And then you can move crouched, and if you hit crouch again, you will get back up. Another cool thing is gonna be drop shot. So like instantly going prone, like you're just going and pam, you just drop, and then you hit it again and you get back up. If you jump instead, you'll transition right away into the jumping state. I know it's not a smooth transition yet, but I haven't made the animation yet. So you can also walk prone, turn around, stuff like this. I still have to implement also turn in place. It's okay. It's an easy one anyway. But yeah, there you go. Then if you jump, you go back to standing, you slide, and then you go prone, and it just stops the slide and just goes completely prone. And then you can just get back up without jumping, or you can just jump and get back up jumping. With crouch, you can also be crouched and then go prone. That's prone, by the way, is another button, which is control, while crouch is. I finished the timer. Sorry. While crouch is C, I have prone on control. Also because I wanted to put something cool the way that if you are jumping and then you hit crouch, nothing happens. But if you hit the ground, you hit crouch, you slide. And then if you hit prone while in the air, as soon as yeah, there is a bit of a jittery animation. I have to fix that. But once you hit the ground, pam, you just go instantly prone. It's a little bit like a dolphin dive, even though I very much wanted it to be more like a dolphin dive. I still have to fix it. But that's pretty much the idea. So obviously prone walks really slowly, doesn't walk fast at all. Capsule size also wrong, I need to fix it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's a really cool implementation. I really like it because I really like lots of movement. Where the movement is very dynamic, is much harder to hit your target. So I wanted to make the weapons deal like a decent amount of damage. But obviously, if you have very stationary people, it's easy to, just get killed or actually kill other people. So that's why this movement comes into place. It makes everything a little bit more dynamic. I really enjoy it. Of course, this is as you can see, this is a blend space 1D. So it's like if you crouch left, it will crouch to the left. If you crouch right, it will crouch to the right. I made these anims straight out from Cascador. Honestly, it was really easy to make. Just grab the UE4 mannequin and just move it around and stuff, and export the anim and just import and the usual stuff that Steve did. Uh, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like for the movement, I still need to fix a couple things. I have to fix the dolphin dive because it doesn't look like a dolphin dive. It looks like a jittery jumping, like jittery hovering animation. So yeah, that I have to fix. But all in all, it wasn't so hard. Let's just say after I remapped everything, because I'm using the enhanced input, uh, pretty much there's like the prone button press and crouch button pressed, and they handle all of the logic, like with all of the possible conditions, right? So like for crouch to calculate speed and get movement. If it's falling, to get the B as in air bull. And then, like, the conditions are here. Like, I'll scale it up a bit so you can see it. So if it's crouched, the combat stop prone, then uncrouches. If the speed is greater than a certain threshold, then it goes prone. No, sorry, this is still crouched. So combat B is prone, sorry. So if he is prone, then it will crouch. So this when you're already crouched, it will go straight to prone. If the speed is greater than 400 and not B is crouched, then C comma is going to be... this is another two conditions. It was important because if sliding is true or is in air, I want it to stop sliding. Otherwise, if not combat is aiming, well then start sliding. Because if it's aiming, I didn't want it to slide because it looks really weird. And also, why would it be like that? I mean, like, it's kind of ridiculous. It shouldn't do that. And then for prone is a little bit more complicated because there is more stuff to take into consideration. I also had to put some conditions into the actual sliding mechanics I already have. But as usual, making those animations where the engine doesn't have them in the library and you need to, like, make the animations, they need to replicate, which was a bit of a pain as usual. So the usual pain in the ass of, like making the on-rep functions and then the restart sliding, which takes the role for role authority. And if so, then the server starts sliding. Otherwise, it multicasts. And then, stop sliding is exactly the same. I tried to make it all run through a bool, but it's just, I don't know, with the enhanced input, it just wasn't cooperating, like with the negate thing. It just, I don't know, I'm kind of new to enhanced input, so maybe I did something wrong. Then, you have server, and then server calls in the multicast sliding, and then the multicast sliding handles the actual logic, which, that's it. Sets the bool to true, which is, by the way, replicated, and it's also in the anim instance here. So because this you need to put in the anim graph in order for it to actually, like make it change the animation. And yeah, then there's all the other conditions. So it changes the speed, right? The walk speed. And if B is prone is true, in this case, this is for sliding. If B is prone is true, then it will set the prone speed. This is because there is a timer, right? I make it run a timer of 1 second. And after that, it will just call stop sliding. The problem is, if you, while you're sliding, go prone, it will set the speed to prone. And then, once the timer is over, it's going to call it again. Just this time, like, it's just going to call base walk speed. So, basically, you're going to be walking, like going prone, walking prone, but at a regular speed. So like this, instead it fixes it. So if prone is true, like it's just gonna run through it again. And if prone is true, well, then it's gonna set the prone speed, which is perfect because now if you slide and then you hit prone, after the timer runs out, it will run the function again. But I mean, there is probably a better way of doing this, but this is the easy fix I found. And that's it. It's just gonna kill it. For prone instead, it's pretty much the same logic, really. Some debug messages here. Thanks, Shadow, for those, by the way. Yeah, this is pretty much all of the same logic. But obviously, with a few changes here, prone is a bit less complicated than sliding. Also because there is no timer, so it's just a bool driving it, like without timer. So that's it. The other really cool implementation that I made is this. Let me call in, say, 5 players. Okay, let me move the clients away. Right, it's gonna be very laggy because obviously 5 players, and obviously I just fell off. Jesus. Right, so really cool implementation is the scoreboard. So there is now a scoreboard, thanks to Venator actually, which kind of gave me the idea on how to start implementing it because I didn't have any idea about how to use scroll boxes, but he did. So he was like, "Hey, use scroll boxes." I did it like this, and then he gave me the basics of how he was setting it up, and then I just kept going from there with all the delegates and stuff. So you have the score, kills, death, and KD. In the regular game mode, it doesn't really matter. With the score, it just uses the kills, deaths, and the kill-death ratio. This is literally a bunch of delegates which are everywhere, like in wherever it's pertinent, which will fire a broadcast which is a multicast. So there is a multicast function, broadcast inside, that broadcast fires for everyone, so that if you grab a client and you also hit, by the way, the green line is actually the local player. So when you see the green line, you know, like you wonder who you are because maybe, you know, there's like 10 names. There you are. You're the green line. So as you can see, also the client can see everybody else's stats because obviously that broadcast function is a multicast. So he can also see it. It's very laggy because of this, because I'm using 5. Okay. See if I kill all of them, I get 3 kills, I have 0 deaths, the KD is 3. But let's say he gets killed, right? Right, he gets killed. Now, obviously, his KD is still gonna be 3, because it's obviously 3 divided by 1. But if he gets killed again, then his KD will drop to 1.5. So the KD updates every time it updates a kill and a death. It will just refresh the KD, and it will tell it, hey, you died, so bad luck. You lost some KD. So that's a really, really cool implementation. Obviously, when you change map, when you go into a teams map, it cannot be like this, right? Because you have different teams, so you cannot really see it like this, like all together, because this is just deathmatch. In a teams map, you want to see it differently. By the way, this is a hold press. This is not toggle, like toggle on and off. This is just it's like Call of Duty. Oh, but this is another implementation I will discuss in another video. But yeah, that's so when you press and keep holding the button, the tab, like it will show you the scoreboard. If you stop, it will cease. Let me actually go to another map to show you how it is for, let's say, capture the flag. Right, so in capture the flag, the concept is the same. Let's put 3 players now because otherwise it's gonna hog the performance so bad. Right, so you start, and you have the flags, yeah, and you have the scoreboard. And in this case, as you can see, there is obviously the green line. Well, in this case, is the server, which is the local player, so you can always tell who you are. Then there is the red line, which is one of the red players. In this case, there is one, and then the blue line, which is the blue team. And then you have the scoreboard on top. Like, so you can, for example, grab the flag. Still very laggy. Score. And there you go. It updates the scoreboard. Now the red team has 1 point. And it also will tell you which player scored. So in this case, the server scored, which is this character right here. And he got 1 point. I mean, 1 score. And the kills, death, and KD will update as normal. So, like, if I die, you know, like, increases the death and it updates the KD. You know, the usual stuff. It's basically like Call of Duty. Same story, you know, if you have another client which is from the opposite team, right? He also has his own scoreboard. Oh, it didn't load properly. Yeah, I have some initialization problems with the colors, but yeah, it's an easy fix as well. So like if you, let's say, kill the server, you get 1 kill, the server gets 1 death, but as you can see, the score stays the same because it obviously takes the score from the regular scores. And then if he scores, oh, bug, nice. There's a bug I need to fix. Sometimes you score and it just does 2 of them instead of 1. Right, in this case it did 1. Not sure why that happens, but I need to fix it. So if he scores, he gets 3 scores, updates all of the scores, and all is good. And the last client, the red client, same story for him. Obviously, if one client doesn't have the, like, if the line didn't initialize properly, it won't initialize properly for everybody else. So everybody's gonna see the issue. Weirdly, the owning client, which was the server, it's always the server anyway because it's the first one that loads, so I need to fix it for him. But the server weirdly now didn't see it wrong. It didn't see it wrong because the line was green. But regardless, it's a little bit of an issue I need to fix. But that's pretty much it for the scoreboard. Obviously, if you go into a teams match, so there's a TDM, is gonna be the same exact story, except this time the score is gonna be calculated on kills and it's not gonna be calculated on flag scores. It's a bit redundant because you already see the kills, but I mean, in this case, you see the overall kills. Like, I said it not to last any time, but anyway, you get the yeah. I was testing stuff. Sorry, still sick. Anyway, you can see how it works, and I think it's a really cool implementation. I absolutely love both the movement and the scoreboard thing. The scoreboard is really useful because in the end of the day, when you're in a like in a game that is like a multiplayer, whether it's competitive or not, doesn't matter. But like if you don't have like an idea of what other people did, it kind of sucks. Like as in, I love like when I play COD in multiplayer and stuff. I always check what other people are doing, like how many kills they got and stuff, like how many kills I got. It's also like a fun way, like to troll your friends, like right. You got way more kills than another guy, and you can see how many kills he's got, and you're like, you suck. It's like died a million times. Or if you do a 1v1, right? Like you want to see how many kills you are behind or ahead of the other person, right? How many times you died, what's your KD, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the implementations. They're really cool. If many people like them and ask, I will actually maybe post the code. But for this one, it's really, really complicated. Like, I mean, at least for me, from some of you might seem easy, but for me, it was really, really hard to put together because if you look at the code, there is really a ton going on. Wait, where is it? HUD, the player stats. Oh, this is stat line. Player stats. Like when you look at the code, like this is just the player stats. Like then there is the overall the score overview, which actually does the stats setup, and then see there's a TRA of player states, and it gets all of them, and then you have the player stats, which then this is a lot. This is, I mean, at least for me, it was really a lot because it has a ton of delegates, like on player scored kill, on player scored death, KD update, team assigned, on player scored point, team scored point, player left, player joined. Like, and all of them are multicast dynamic multicast delegates, like either 1, 2, 3, or even 4 params in some cases, and they all broadcast like a certain amount of things to net, and yeah, depending on what happens, you see these get updated, right? But yeah, I'm scrubbing through real quick, but it's a lot of stuff. Like if lots of you like it, then I will actually post the proper code with explanation why I did certain things. But yeah, anyway, cheers. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you liked it. Let me know.